Oh, my kitty says hello. I was really enjoying the sunlight, so that's why we're in here today. I know the lighting's very, very, very bad. I just hope that you can at least see the game. We're gonna find out. The only reason I'm recording today, because I wasn't planning on it, there's simply a fire burning in my body. And it was a fire that I forgot I had. But then I watched Twilight. And I feel something. And so I was watching this movie. It has been years since I've watched it in its entirety. And look, I graduated high school in 2012. I was like a freshman when the first movie came out. I was one of those girls that was very obsessed and completely wrapped in the idea of romanticizing a creature that wants to kill you. But, you know, it was 2008 and I was 14 years old, I think, something like that. So, yeah, I rewatched it today, and I can, without a single doubt in my mind, say that it's a fucking masterpiece. I'm sorry, it is. I just like, there were so many parts of it that I genuinely enjoyed and thought were so hilarious. There were so many parts of it that felt very ahead of its time. Like, for starters, towards sort of the end of the movie, they show that one really famous waterfall in Portland, like literally probably the most photographed waterfall of all time. And like, this movie was from like 2008, 2009, and that waterfall became like, it was like peak Instagram from like 2013 to 2015. Like, it was in those ways that this movie was so ahead of its time. I mean, the music, I name me a better soundtrack. Yeah, you can't do it, can you? I'm so amazed. I'm just speechless. There were just so many other parts of it. I'm playing so poorly right now. First of all, Bella's just like unwavering pride of Arizona. Like literally in the first scenes when we see her, she has a little handheld shovel in her hand because she was digging out a cactus from her backyard. And then like later she arrives in Forks. I don't know how she did this, but she boarded a plane with a fucking cactus in her hand, and she gets out of Charlie's car and she's holding the little cactus. Like, she's in this very just like, I don't know, it's just brilliant. And then just like throughout the film, just like everything about like how everything she does screams Arizona. There's I mean, I never noticed before, but even her jewelry, she is just like dressed to the nines in silver bangles with turquoise. Like, she can't help herself. She just loves Arizona. I just love it so much. It's so great. That whole scene where she's with Charlie and there, in case you're wondering, that's all I'm going to be talking about this video. Just Twilight. Nothing more. And I have much to say. But there's this scene, and like, it made me laugh so hard because it was so relatable. But like, she's literally just in the kitchen and she gets home from school and she just kind of like throws her bag down, and Charlie's just like so clueless and he's just eating, and she's like, "Finished with that?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she like takes his plate of food, puts it in the sink. She gets just a glass, and she fills that glass like the weirdest ratio of water I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I don't even know what fraction to give it. It wasn't a third full. It wasn't a half full. I don't think it was a quarter full. I don't know what she did. I can't put a number on it. She fills the cup with some amount of water. She takes a sip of it, and mind you, she slurps it around. She looks at it. You can't teach that. Kristen Stewart's just a fucking genius. She just drinks a sip of the water, looks at it, swirls it around, and then pours it out. What was that? I just can't. There's so many parts of this movie that I cannot get over. Can we talk about the fucking the guy with the cat? There's just so much to unravel. Wow, interesting. There's so much to unravel. There's only so much time we have in this life. Yeah, the soundtrack's phenomenal. I don't know what else to say. Just everything. Oh yeah, Rob the musician. I don't know if y'all know this, but that scene when Bella is dying, she's literally bleeding out, and she has vampire venom coursing through her veins. In that scene when Edward is sucking out her blood, or I guess the venom technically, there's this song playing in the background. It's Rob singing. Rob Pattinson, he is performing. That is him. And I only know this because, of course, I watched all of the fucking. Look, I bought the DVDs and I watched, when you go through the menu and it's comments by the director and special features and shit like that. I watched it, and that was one of the things that they said was that Rob Pattinson. That's him. And he's so good. He's a good singer. I don't know. And it's just God, the flair of this movie. The way that they dress. They dress to the nines for that baseball game. And the credits are so good. The way that it ends is so good. And then, of course, Bella's Lullaby. So, I learned how to play it. I went through the YouTube tutorials. And I also, while I was in high school, learned how to play River Flows in You by... I never learned how to pronounce his name. It's spelled Urima, but I'm almost certain that is not how you pronounce it, and I should absolutely just look it up and see how you pronounce it. But something that drove me absolutely insane back in the day, and still drives me insane, on the rare occasion that it comes up, is that people think that Urima's River Flows in You is in Twilight, and it's fucking not. I don't know if you believe that, but stop believing it right now, because it's not. Bella's Lullaby is not River Flows in You. It's this weird Mandela effect thing. I've never understood the Mandela effect, and this is the only instance in which I understand that, yes, it is a thing, because I cannot tell you how many people across the many years of my life have told me, I'll hear that song, River Flows in You, and be like, oh my gosh, I love the song, and they'll be like, oh, name that movie, and I'm like, no, I know what you're going to say, and you're wrong, and then I have to be that person and tell them, well, actually, I learned how to play both songs, and anyway, that's literally all I wanted to talk about. I kind of blew through everything pretty quickly. I'm drinking a Down East cider. That's the cider that I told y'all about a couple videos back. I was at Trader Joe's yesterday and they just had it. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. It's the pumpkin one. And fuck it, it's September. Anyway, that's it. I watched this movie today. I don't know what came over me. It's Sunday, so literally anything can happen. And that's what happened this Sunday. I've had 2 cups of coffee. I've made salsa. I have not taken a single nap. It's just like, what a day. Yeah, I'm out. Yeah. Anyway, I have other little things written here like vitamin R, La Push, it's a worm, the feature is canceled. Just like the little fucking things that characters say throughout the film. That's just like, it's so funny. Why is it so funny? It's just like so stupid. And so good. Like, Charlie's such a great character. I swear to God, every single thing he does is fantastic. Every single thing that's said, like, just like when Bella first gets to the house and, excuse me, and he says, well, hope you like purple. The lady at the store kind of sold me on it. She was like, and then Bella goes, yeah, purple's great. And then he fucking leaves and she's like, one good thing about Charlie, he doesn't hover. I was absolutely surprised at how much I remembered of this movie, like how many stupid lines, how many musical cues I remember. It's a movie I saw a bunch, and like I have this, it's not a superpower because I just watch shit over and over and over again, but I just memorized movies from beginning to fucking end. And I was very surprised at how much I remembered from this movie, given that I just have not seen it in so long. I don't really want to watch the others because they're all different directors. I feel that this one stands out on its own. No one remembers New Moon or Eclipse or Breaking Dawn Part 1, and everyone only remembers Breaking Dawn Part 2 because of the fucking, we all know. God, but this movie's iconic. It's kind of a masterpiece. And that's all I have to say. So, I hope you're having a great Sunday. I hope this brought some light to your life. If it didn't, you got some sunlight in your life. If you can, you should try Downy Cider. It's fantastic. This is the pumpkin one. I love it. The pumpkin's not overpowering. It's just very subtle, like kind of almost floral to me. Anyway, I'm done rambling. Bye.